I discovered the BBC Sounds app a couple of months ago, and after seeing how many of you enjoyed and were interested in our first article about what podcasts are and how to explore the world of podcasts, I thought it was the perfect time to show you such a wonderful app, which is the BBC Sounds app. So, if you're a listener, whether it's enjoying listening to music, listening to live radio, or interesting podcasts, the BBC Sounds app is right here for you. Hello there, my name's Guy and you're watching Guy's Guides, where we provide simple guides to technology in order to help you with your online adventure. In this video, we're going to focus on the BBC Sounds app, which is an incredible resource giving you access to live radio shows, music and podcasts, all produced by the BBC. And of course, this is absolutely free for everyone. It's an amazing opportunity for us to all discover some lovely listening content. It was heavily criticised when the BBC brought out this app to begin with. First of all, because they spent a lot of money on it, and secondly, because the user experience was considered poor, given that this app is accessible to everyone. But the BBC have really done their job, and over the past few months made some significant changes and improvements to the app, and now I could not recommend it more. In this video, we're going to focus on the app, which you can download and use on your mobile device, whether it's a tablet or a mobile phone. However, don't get worried if you only have a computer or prefer to use one, as BBC Sounds is also accessible on their website, and the buttons and features are exactly the same. So I would really recommend continuing watching this video. The first thing that we all need to do is download the app either from the App Store or the Play Store, depending on what type of device you're on. Same process as usual. Just go to the App Store, then search for BBC Sounds. Once you've found it, click on the download button or the cloud button. Once it's downloaded, just click on open. In order to use the BBC Sounds app, you do need a BBC account. So, if you're new to the BBC and need an account, click on register and follow the simple steps of choosing your email and password and giving them a couple more details about yourself before being able to use your BBC account. If you're like me and already have one, just click on the sign in button down at the bottom here. I then just click on continue with my account, and this will then sign me into the BBC Sounds app. The app is super simple to use, so let's just quickly look at the navigation bar down at the bottom here, where we have 4 buttons. The first one called Home, the second one called Music, where, as it says on the tin, we'll find all of the music in the BBC Sounds app. We then have the My Sounds button, which is like our own personal library of sounds from the BBC Sounds app, but we'll come back to that later. And the fourth and final button is the search button, where we'll be able to search for whatever we like within the BBC Sounds app. Let's go back through each of the 4 to find out exactly what you can do and how to do it. Let's start with Home. So we click on Home here. The first thing that we can see are the live radio shows happening at the moment, and we can see all of those across the top here. I can scroll through them by pulling my finger across the screen in order to see all of them. And when I come across one that I like the BBC World Service, which is broadcasting Sports World at the moment, I just click on the circle up at the top in order to start listening to the BBC World Service. The controls are super simple, and like on any other podcasting app. The first one is the play and pause button in the middle here, which allows me to stop and start again so that I can listen at my own pace. The second button is the start button, which allows us to come back to the start of the show so that if we miss the beginning, we can always listen to it again. That's the little arrow on the left-hand side here, and we click on it to come back to the start of the show. I can also use the 20 arrows on the left and right-hand side of the pause and play button, which will allow me to either move backwards 20 seconds or forwards 20 seconds, depending on what I want to do. And the final button is the live button on the right-hand side, allowing you to come back to the place where they're at live with the radio show. Now that we've seen those controls, let's come back to the home page, and we can do that by clicking either on the arrow at the top of my screen here, or pulling my finger down the screen to reduce the control bar. Notice that I'm still listening to BBC World Service now, and if I want to come back to the controls bar in order to stop listening now all I have to do is click on the black bar across the bottom showing what I'm currently listening to. When I click on that, it comes back up and I can click on pause so that we're not listening to that anymore. If you never want to miss out on anything, either upcoming on a radio show or that's already been broadcasted, you can use this Stations and Schedules button here to see exactly what's going on. Again, we can scroll through the radio shows up at the top here by pulling our finger across the top, and then we can see exactly what's happening on that day on that radio show, either in the past or in the future by scrolling here. I really like the Sports Hour show done by the BBC World Service. So here I can see that the episode that happened at 11:06 is available here for me to click on. When I click on that, it will come back to the episode where I can find more details about it, including the duration up at the top here of 53 minutes, its availability, so how long I can listen to it for, when it was released, today, the 13th of February, a description of the episode, and then some more buttons across the top here. If I want to listen to it now, all I have to do is click on the play button. But say I wanted to come back to it later, because I don't have time now to listen to it. Well, here I can click on the More button at the side here and bookmark the episode. When I bookmark an episode, it's then available in My Sounds, which we'll look at later. To put it simply, it's just a way of coming back to this particular episode easily. I can also use the subscribe button here, which will allow me to see all of the upcoming episodes and previous episodes in My Sounds too. We'll come back to My Sounds later, but keep in mind that we bookmark this episode and we also subscribe to the Sports Hour show so that we can always keep up to date with our favourite radio shows. Let's go back to the homepage by clicking on the back button up at the top here, and then on Home, and we're back on the homepage, where we can discover more, including some recommendations from the BBC and stuff that we may like by scrolling down the bottom here. If we like the sound of anything, all we need to do is click on the black play button so that we can listen to that now. Let's move on to the second button, which is the music button. And as it says on the tin, it's just a simple way of accessing all of the music on the BBC Sounds app. We can scroll through all of the music here. We can then click on one that we like the sound of in order to see all of the tracks or songs that are in this playlist. Again, we can subscribe by clicking on the button, or if we want to see more episodes of this particular show, we just click on See More Episodes. And that comes up with all of the episodes that are available for me to listen to now. Let's finish off by My Sounds. So first of all, let's have a look at the search button. Here, I can either search for a particular show that I know the name of, or browse by category, either in the music or the speech area. And when they refer to speech, they're talking about podcasts. Let's look for Desert Island Discs by typing in up at the top here. Here I can see that the shows appear up at the top. So I click on Desert Island Discs and this takes me through to the show. I really enjoy this show, so I'm going to click on subscribe here so that I never miss out on anything. I also really like the sound of the episode featuring Tim Peake, the astronaut, but I want to listen to that later, and it happens that at the time that I want to listen to it, I don't have access to the internet. So I'm just going to click on that episode, and again, I can see the details about that episode, but I can also download this episode by clicking on the download button here, and that means that it will be stored on my device so that I can listen to it even when I'm not connected to the internet. So I just click on the download button here and we can see the progress as it downloads onto my device. Let's finish off with the My Sounds button here. This is like your own library within BBC Sounds. So it's where you can find anything that you particularly like because you've subscribed to the show, or you've bookmarked an episode in order to come back to it later, or that you've downloaded it in order to listen to it later without an internet connection. So we can click on the bookmarks button here, and we can see that the episode of Sports Hour that we bookmarked earlier is here, ready for me to listen to it again in an easy way. So I've created a shortcut to that episode so that I can come back to it. In my subscribed section, I can also see all of the shows that I've subscribed to. So again, it's an easy way of accessing a particular show rather than an episode, so that I can see all of those episodes produced by that show. And finally, the last section is the download section, where I can see all of the episodes that I've downloaded. Remember, we downloaded Tim Peake earlier? Well, here it is ready for me to listen to without having to have an internet connection. Fantastic, right? And so that brings our tour of the amazing BBC Sounds app to an end. I really do love this resource as it gives us free access to some amazing listening content, including radio shows, music and podcasts. So whatever it is that you like, I'm sure that you can find something on the BBC Sounds app which is suitable for your tastes. Please do remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy our easy technology guides. And if you have any questions about the BBC Sounds app, please do let us know by leaving a comment. And if you prefer watching content rather than listening, why don't you check out Web of the Week, our weekly webpage where we publish hand-picked, inspiring, uplifting and interesting content from the World Wide Web to make it easily accessible for all of us so that we can all enjoy it together. Each new edition comes out on a Sunday, and by looking at Web of the Week, you'll never be short of uplifting content anymore.